Hi guys, in this video I'm going to cover my top tips for studying BTEC Business. My tip number one is planning out your coursework. Planning out your coursework is very important. One, it helps you let your ideas flow. So you know exactly what you need to talk about in each section, creating a plan beforehand, just before doing your assignment, which means that when you come to doing your assignment, it's a lot more easier because you know exactly what you want to talk about, when you want to talk about it, and in what section. It makes you feel a lot more organized, and in that way, while you're planning out your coursework, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and talk to your teacher and they can help you, so that when it comes to actually writing it, it's a very smooth process and it's not something that you have to faff around with last minute. So planning out your coursework, looking at your brief, doing some extra research before you actually write your assignment out can actually help you a lot more better when you're writing out the assignment. Number two, make a schedule or a timetable. This is very important as a student, especially if you're working and you have a lot going on and you have a lot of priorities that you need to manage. Making a schedule or a timetable is something that's going to help you. Before you wake up, so the night before, you can write out a timetable for the day, or let's say in the morning, make a whole to-do list, write down what you need to do when. That's going to help you so that you actually know what you need to prioritize. So the things that maybe you need to get done first, put them at the top of the list. The things that you need to get done last, put them at the bottom of your list. If you make a schedule or you make a timetable for yourself, it means that you are prioritizing everything. You're prioritizing your social life, your academic life, your personal life, work, and it just makes things a lot more easier for you, and it means that you're not stressing around as much and you can manage your time better. Tip number three, this is very important. Start your assignments as soon as they are given. I know a lot of us can't do them last minute and tend to leave them to the last minute by procrastinating, but believe me, if you start your assignment as soon as they are given to you, it means one, the quality of your assignments are going to be a lot more better because you're not rushing them. You have a lot more time to research, to find better quality information, and to get help if needed, as if it was done last minute, a lot of those things would not be able to be done. If you start your assignments as soon as they're given, it means that you can prioritize each assignment, each deadline. And because obviously you're going to have a lot of subjects, so that means that it gives you time to prioritize other assignments as well. So if you start your assignments as soon as they're given to you, you look at your brief, look at what's been given to you, what you've been told to do, that means that you have time to process it and it comes out a lot more better than if it's done last minute. Tip number four, review content regularly. Revision. Now, in BTEC, you have exams, so it's very important, especially with the exam units, that whatever is being taught to you, you go over that. So that information is reviewed. If you get it taught once and you don't go through it, that means that when you come to revise for your exam, you're cramming in all this information and it doesn't work well. Whereas if you're reviewing your content weekly, so let's say at the end of each day, you go through everything that was taught to you on that day. Then on the weekend, take out a day to go through everything that you've learned during that week and do exam questions. Test your knowledge, see where you are, and exam questions are the best way to do so. That is because you are used to the style of questions that are going to be given to you. So when you actually come to doing the exam, you're like, oh wait, I remember doing that question before, or seeing a similar question to that. So I would definitely say review your content regularly, so that way that when you actually come to doing revision, you're not cramming all this information in you. You've already gone through it. It's just a matter of just quickly going through it, seeing what topics you need to go over a little bit more, and it makes stuff a lot more easier for you when it comes to doing an exam. Use a lot of evidence in your coursework. This is something I can't stress enough. If you are aiming for distinctions in your work, I would definitely say use a lot of evidence, and by evidence I mean use academic resources. use journal articles, use graphs, statistics, theory, if any theory has been taught to you. It makes your work look like you've actually put effort in, and it makes you sound like you know exactly what you're talking about because you've got evidence in order to back up your answers. So when you're talking about information, definitely back it up with evidence, with statistics, with articles, with theory. But make sure that when you put it in, it actually makes sense. You're not just putting random theory in or random statistics in for the sake of it. Make it make sense and justify it. This will really plump up your work and make you stand out from other students. It makes your work more distinction worthy. So definitely, if you're aiming for distinctions and distinction stars, put a lot of evidence in your work. Justify your work. Use articles, use statistics, there's graphs available. Just make sure that it is academic resources. Try not to use websites or sources like Wikipedia. Another very, very important one. Do not leave work till last minute. And I know that you've probably heard this from all your teachers, but believe me, it is very, very important because it reduces the quality of your work. The more you leave it last minute, the more bad quality your work's going to be because you're rushing it, you don't have enough time to complete it, and you're stressing. So whereas, as I said before, if you start it a lot more beforehand, you have more time to prepare yourself and your work will become more of a better quality. So do not leave your work till last minute. And it also means that if it's last minute, you have less chances and opportunities to actually sit with your teacher and go through your work or ask questions when you're confused. And my last tip, get teachers to help you and check you with your work. This is very, very important because at times it's always needed that a teacher can help you or a teacher needs to check your work. So I would definitely say, if you have the opportunity and if you can, definitely make a draft of your work or write out a couple of paragraphs and get your teachers to check it and see, just say, Miss or Sir, can you check I'm going on the right lines? Can you check I'm on the right path with this? Am I doing what you're expecting me to do? And if not, can you please tell me what I need to do to improve? If I am doing it right, is there anything that can make it better? This will make the quality of your work a lot more better. This is because you've gotten help from someone that's above you. And because obviously they're the one that's going to be marking their work, you want to know exactly what they expect of it. If you're just going to go with the flow, you might be disappointed with the grade you get after because they weren't looking for what you were writing. So as you're going, get them to check. If you have any questions, don't be afraid, go ahead and ask them because they're there for you to help. They're there for you. So ask them questions like, oh, I'm not sure what I should do in this section. Could you please help me out? Obviously, they're not going to give you all the answers, but they can give you tips and tricks along the way. So they're there for you, so make the most out of them and make the most use of them. So these are my top 7 tips for BTEC Business. Hopefully it helps. Good luck.